Good morning everyone, and welcome back to Craft Eccentricity, and I hope you all had an awesome weekend. Right, today we're up with KSCRAFT and I am going to be doing this train. Now if you've looked around YouTube, and particularly KSCRAFT's website on YouTube, that would be her channel, wouldn't it? Not her website. Well, actually, if you go to the website on AliExpress, you'll see that she's done hers as a three-dimensional train, which is little boxes that are built between two die cuts of each one, if you know what I mean. So you can have it as a table setting or as an ornament and fill it with candy and stuff like that. So as everybody else has already done it like that, you know me, let's do something different. So if you've already done it 3D and you want to do it a different way, you've come to the right place today. So let's move that out of the way. Right, we are going to use it as a wraparound shaker. Now, a wraparound shaker is the easiest way to do a shaker, and I know that a lot of people do struggle doing shakers. So I've got a few of these lovely multicolour, what they're called, snowflakes. Yeah, snowflakes. I need coffee. I promise you, I've only had a bottle of water this morning, but I need coffee. So we're going to use these up, and I think there's enough there to kind of finish my project, because in a wraparound shaker you can be very generous. Right, so first of all, I've tried to be organised, and there are certain parts of the train that I have already done. Now let me explain this. You do get two layers to do the roof of the train engine, and you get a little bit that goes on top of the chimney. I've decided to put a snowflake there, and I hope that I'm not thoroughly blurred. There you go. And the deer is what I'm using, or the reindeer. Some people I think have used the gingerbread. Now I'm going to flip this over, because to pop the eyes and the nose colour, all you have to do is cut two little scraps of card, glue them on the reverse like that, and you're never going to see the reverse of the train, so it doesn't matter. So that's how you're going to get your lovely reindeer face. If you want to add a little bit of blush, you can, but I'm leaving mine plain today. So that is the carriage. No, it's not. It's the engine. This is the carriage. Yeah. At this point, you know, I imagine you're either all clicking off or going to sleep. Yeah. Now I'm trying to get close here so you can see the details of the little gingerbreads. There we go. And I've got glue all over my fingers. So you've got little details in your gingerbread man, and you can put little flat backs or buttons or little pearls down his body if you want to. But I'm kind of sticking with pink and white, and I'm having a little bit of pearly green as my theme. You get your candy canes and your packages, and there's another snowflake that has been chopped in pieces. And if I flip it over, you can see exactly how that's all glued behind there. Right, so now we've got a carriage and we've got an engine. Your wheels, they all come so that you can cut them all out at once, and I'm doing pink and white for the wheels. You get the little hubcaps, and then just to make sure that your wheels are lined up, just get a ruler when you're gluing them and just pop them like that, and you'll know that your wheels are all, you know, in line to go onto your train. So that's just obviously a quick and simple trick. So we're going to have wheels onto there, and I've done exactly the same thing, line them up on a ruler, and we're going to have wheels on our little carriage, and I am going to centre them. And I've cut 3 little banners, and I've cut 2 little bows, because I want them to go the length of my card. And this little piece here, that's the connector that makes it look like they're both joined up. So anyway, after showing you that, I'm going to move those bits out of the way so we can do our shaker first. So I'm just gliding those over there, get rid of my ruler. Now my card size today is 7 by 4 inches. And that is the piece of paper that I'm using. This is going to go inside of my shaker. So flip that over, and I've already got some tape on there, and I'm using Alina Crafts tape. Now my base card is 7 1/4 by 4 1/4. So that's going to look like that. So I'm going to tell you exactly how you do this now. I cut a piece of snowy acetate that I've had for a few years now. I ordered it in bulk, so I've got like years worth of supply, and I cut it 7.5 by 4.5, and then I scored it a 1/4 inch on each side. Once you've done that, because it's really hard to show it, you can see my score lines. You're going to get a bone folder, which I haven't used yet. I've just pushed it up a bit, and you're going to go along so that it's folded flat. And in that bit there, I'm going to put my finger, I hope that you can see it. You cut that little square out so that when you fold it over and fold it over, you've got like a little wrap. And what that does is it puffs your acetate up a bit, which gives you plenty of room for all of your goodies inside to move around. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to get my bone folder, and I'm going to ensure that that is done straight where I've already scored it. And it's so easy to do this, it really is. You can push it back out of the way to do your side pieces. So for those of you that struggle with cutting foam and laying it up, this is all you have to do. So that's all folded in a way that I know is going to go flat. So the next thing that you need to do, that is now 7 by 4, this panel, once it's folded. And you'll know that we cut this 7 by 4. And that means that if you put it to your acetate, your wraparound is not going to work. So you then take your 7 by 4 and you just slice a fine slither off each of the edges, and then you've got the perfect fit to go inside. So we're now going to turn this over, and it looks like a tray. That's what we're going to do. We're going to get our sequin mix. That goes in first. I'm just trying to open the bag. And as I haven't cut my nails in quite a while now, you'd think I'd be able to get it open. Oh dear. I'm going to try and just grab each element of it. I'll probably scatter them all over the floor. Right, so bag open, and I'm going to dump them all in. So I'm being super generous. I'm even going to get the bits out there, because they look like little bits of confetti. So I've just used up all of those, and I'm going to need to order some more. And then you want to spread them around. Try not to go right up into the edge, but you just want them flat enough to get your bit of paper in there. So if you've got anything that's gone right up into the corner, just scoot that away. And then you're going to get your piece of cardstock, which you trim down just a fraction to ensure that it would fit inside. And you're just going to lay it inside of that tray. So I actually folded mine up. I'm going to bend it back out a bit, just so that I can get in there. So I'm going to go into that bit. Move that out of the way. And I'm going in that bit. Just flap your flap up and tuck it in. And then move it around, because I obviously can't see because of my camera angle. There we go. And that is fitted now nice and flat inside of that acetate. So the next thing you need to do is decide how you're going to wrap it, whether you want your side pieces tucked in first or your long pieces. I always go for my long pieces. I guess that's just force of habit. So I'm just peeling all of my tape off. Right, so I'm going for my long piece, so I'm just tucking my side out of the way, and you just want to adhere that. Now don't worry if your adhesive tape is longer than your sides, because you're going to stick it onto your card base, and that's going to help it stick even more. or the other tape that you put on is going to overlap it. So now we're going in with this and we're sticking that down. We're just totally encasing that sheet of card. So if you wanted to pop a sentiment or any other little bits and pieces or scenic decoration, oh, there's a word first thing in the morning, you know, now's the time to go ahead and do it. And you'll see when I pick this up that it puffs up. I'm just tucking my bit in there. Right, so I'm going along. I'm sticking that down. Right, let's turn that over. Do you see? Now if I turn it to the side, you can see it domes itself out. So you've got plenty of space for all of your stuff to just swoosh and swish. Yeah, swoosh and swish. Right, now I need more tape and I'm just going to go all the way around here and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got my next layer of tape onto the back and you can see that when you turn it over you can't see any tape at all. So that's what you're aiming for. So if I just flip that over, we can remove this and then this will go onto your base. Now the other thing that I will say, when you're doing a wraparound shaker, use a heavyweight good quality cardstock because you don't want it to buckle. So you don't want it to kind of, you know, bow in or bow out on you. Right, so that's now all sticky and I'm just going to stand up so that I can see exactly where this is going and that it's straight. Right, I'm going to go for that and I'm going to commit. So that is now attached onto your base. If you just tap your sequins out of the way so that you can have a nice smooth run to make sure that it's all adhered. And then if I stand it up there, you can see, I hope you can see, I'm going to sit down because I want you to see how it bows out. You get a slight dome and that's what allows everything to just, you know, move around. So right, we've got our lovely filling inside there and now we need to pop our train on. And of course I did measure my train before doing my card because you want everything to fit on there. So the finished item is going to be 7 by 4 inches, so they need to go on. You need to make sure that you've got enough space that your little wheels are not going to be off the bottom and those go onto there. So I think the best thing for me to do is to just glue the wheels on first. And I don't know if I want it up on foam tape. In fact, I think I might, you know. I think that sticking up away from there might look quite nice. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Right, so card base is done. And let's glue the wheels on. And I'm just going for glue in the top section. And I'm going to use that pink edge as my straight line, so that needs to come down just a tiny little fraction. There we are. So those are all nice and straight, and now I'm going to do the same thing and use, I don't know what they call that, is it the foot plate or the running plate or something, footboard, and using that will just, you know, help you get a straight edge once again. So I'm just going to go, let's have a look at that. Yeah, that's in the centre. Now the thing with that is your bigger wheel really should be higher up, shouldn't it? Yeah, I'm going to go there. because that looks proper to me. Proper. That's a good Cockney term from London. Right, and now we've got this, and I've got my little connector that needs to go from one to the other. So I'm just going to glue one on first. Just get that one side done. Pop that on there. Give it a press. And then I need to line it up with that side. So a little blob of glue. And take that across. That looks about right. So now we're all connected. Pop the pin back in my bottle. And I'm just going to gently flip that over. And we're going to put some foam pads on. So it's going to be quite poofy and dimensional, this card. So I'm going to go onto the carriage. In fact, I'll just put the tape on and come back. Right, so that's how I've got my foam tape on, and I stayed away from the items in the carriage because they're already layered up, so they're a bit, you know, more dimensional from behind. So I've just stuck with that, and it's not a very thick tape, but it gives just enough space. So let's bring the base back in. And I have got humidity here today, so, you know, if anything looks a bit like it shouldn't, I do apologise. But I do have my AC running. And now I'm going to take all the backs off. I'll move that up and see if I can get a bit in here. Just taking all the foam off the backs. This is such a fun way to make a shaker. And now I can see where I am. I think that's straight. No, my little choo-choo. See, that's the beauty about acetate, is you can lift stuff up. Let's have a look at that. Right, I'm happy with those wheels now. And we will commit to that. So you can see you've got all your shakies, all of your sparklies going on behind. So the next thing that I need to do is to put the banner on, and I did cut 3 pieces so that it would go the full length of my card here, and I'm just checking on that. I mean, I will put them accurately, but the little bit of space that's there is the filler that is going to have the bows to hide those gaps. So I'm just going to put some double-sided adhesive tape on just the beginning and end of each one and come back and show you that. Right, so I'll pop my tape on, and it's just on the ends, and I'm just going to scoot those out of the way while I bring this down so that I can have a good look at it. And I'm just peeling the back off that double-sided tape. And we're going to decide how we're going to have this. I think I'm going to go like that. And then I'm going to do the other one on the other end. And then it's just easier to kind of like square things up in the center if you do the edges first. So I'm looking at what I've got there, the distance. I think it's about there. I'll commit to that. And then the one in the middle, and I'll just take the backer off my tape. And I'm going to flip it around because working upside down can be a lot easier for me. So I've got these spaces I think pretty accurate there, and I'm just going to commit to that, and then I can just tuck my little banner there behind the roof of my train engine. And now we're going to get some glue. Whoops. Get my glue. I'm putting a dot into the center. And I've got my kind of like bowie bit just kind of hiding. Yeah, I'll do the edges as well actually, because then it'll be paper to paper, which will make life a lot easier. So I've got that little bow on. Now I need to do my next one. I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to go centre and the edges where it's going to meet the paper. Let's get that right. I think that's probably about it. Now we'll turn it around. Ooh, isn't that sweet? Ah, I love that. I'm just getting my pin. Yeah, I have to get used to keep sticking it back in. I keep telling everybody that I can find my pin now, but I can't find the hole. There. Right, we are done. Look at that. Everything will swoosh around inside. It's just great fun. That's just great for adults or for children. And I hope we're getting a nice clear image there. It all fits on. And of course I did it slow enough, I hope, and without any edits. I never edit anything, so that you can pause it if you need to, just to see how something was done. Right, I thank you so much for joining me today, and we are up tomorrow with our final KSCRAFT, and that will be the autumn items, which are the pumpkin tag and the acorn, and let's see what we can get up to with those. Right, once again, have an absolutely awesome day, and as usual, all links below. Bye.